Hi guys, welcome to another edition to my Orktoberfest 2023. And today we take a look at the newest of the different tribes and subraces of the orcs. The best copyrightable name Games Workshop could find, the Orruc Kruleboyz. So we are continuing this month by another GW product. It is also quite convenient because Games Workshop just released their Get Started box or whatever the name is. And my suggestion for it would be go online, type Dominion box set and find one of those. It would be much better. I bet you can find boxes with more value for much less money. Because there is no way you can find one of the 3rd edition AOS start box sets if I can find one after like 10 seconds online in the place I live. Nonetheless, it is a starter box set. Nonetheless, it is a standard starter box set and a good way to get into the AOS. But back to the mini at hand. I'll be honest, I picked it up way back on eBay for like £2 or whatever, and until now it has been sitting like this in my box, me not really knowing what to do with it. But it is still an orc, so now it is the best time to get into it and see for myself if it is any good. I also took this opportunity to answer one of my viewers' questions. Viewer by the name Toadin asked this question. And basically it's about the ability to apply the same approach for a miniature with more to it than just the power armor, with more textures and more stuff like that. It was on the video about the Space Marine and my approach for the power armor. So first go and watch this video and then come back and watch this one. I'll wait. Okay, now that we are ready, let's get to it. My main object, and let's say theoretical for this video, is whether I can use the same approach as on my Space Marines and use the undercoat to the fullest potential. I will try and do most of the work by airbrush and keep my palette very limited, just to prioritize the speed but still with the goal of higher quality. You already saw a lot of the progress I did on the screen, but now just let me walk you through my thought process and all the stuff I did up to this point. So I started with very limited value sketch, using, in my opinion, main light source in this case, and slowly and very selectively build up the values over all the different materials and surfaces. But the result is still very obvious. When there is no real work with the light, just strong zenithal highlight is quite helpful with the speed painting. So I ended up with a very intensely highlighted model in the value sketch. From here it is straight for different values. I wanted to keep relatively similar approach as for my Blood Angels, so I picked up at least 2 but mostly 3 colors for all the values I went for with an airbrush. In this case, it concerns mainly the mount, the leather and the orc skin. The metallics will be the best to do with the brush. So for the mount, or whatever this beast is, I wanted the standard red color. Here I did my first mistake, because I tried for the lighter feel of the underbelly, which is very common in most animals. But because of the zenithal sketch, the yellow contrast paint was not as opaque as I would like it to be. So I left it like this and did the thing I originally wanted. So I used different shades of red and orange for most of the beast skin. But the result again was really not what I wanted in my mind. The red was quite desaturated and flat. First thing I tried was to bring back a little bit of that saturation and warmth by getting the same yellow I used before and used airbrush for glazing some of the yellow on the highest values of the skin. This step did actually a lot for me and just gave me a better feeling of the whole thing. I left the other step I had in my mind for the skin for the oils. I used the same process for the leather, all around the rider. First with some skin tone to get the feel for the material, but then I used some purple for the lower parts. I used the same thinking for my Nurgle rider, if you want to check it out. I loved that mini. Here it did not do as much for me, but still gave me quite a good feeling and it gave the mini a little bit continuation. For the higher parts, I used pure white ink. A little bit of green for the very limited orc skin parts, and the work with the airbrush is almost done. Just a quick work on the base with some green and blue hues. For the metallics, I did not want a warm copper or brass feeling, so I went for a simple metal recipe I use for basing cold dark iron. It is a neutral silver with Black Lotus Vallejo contrast paint and a drop of grey blue also from Vallejo. This creates quite a nice finish and a temperature contrast for all the warm values over the Mini. Now, with basically every base coat set into place, it is time for the oils. And here it is incredibly simple. I used red for the beast, brown for the leather, and black for the metal. After a quick dry time, I went in with the makeup sponge and really just a tiny bit of white spirit and removed the oils from the most highest flat surfaces. This leaves a nice oily finish over the whole fig. It also shades the whole Mini and pushes it a little bit into the darker grimdark territory. For large forces and armies, this could be it, but after that I went in with the brush and a wet palette for some highlights and textures and a little bit cleanup all around the Mini. I did some texture on the leather and skin of the beast, spent some time on the head of the beast, head of the orc and the many other heads around the Mini, which, okay. I highlighted the metal part with pure silver. And the last thing was to highlight parts of the skin visible. I used the same approach for the orc as I did with my Grimcore Ironhide, so also check that video out. To complete the base, I used an easy blue-green wash with a drop of gloss varnish to create a swampy feeling of the environment. And another addition for my Orktober collection is done. And here are the final results. This was a very fast paint job. I did it over like an afternoon. And even though I'm not really a fan of these new orcs, this was a lot of fun. And again, it was something different as a Mini that I am used to. So I hope you liked it as well. If you did, just smash the like button and subscribe to support the channel. And I will see you very soon. Bye.